Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another round of the Winter 2021-2022 Newark Rays Amateur Circuit Run. Let the semifinals begin with Goofbrush versus Metallica, and this should be a really fun one to watch. And I'm joined by Damare, who's going to be going up against Digital Unity in the next match.
Yes, thank you for having me. These two players are both incredibly skilled in this category and are relatively similar in skill, although Goof did just post a new personal best a couple days ago, or yesterday I think it was actually, and it was a very good time. So as of right now, Goof has the higher peak, but we'll see how he can do under pressure here in his only second ever tournament match.
Ooh, both hit double rock for Metallica, single rock for Goof.
The single rock strat is to get a better line, so unfortunately Metallica just hit that farther rock out. Assuming that they're both using the same strat here. Looks like Goof probably has a tiny lead.
Ooh, that was... Metallica lost the boost.
Yeah.
Not good.
Goof is looking like he's going to be heading towards a mid 227 for Boonta training, which is a very solid time. Metallica probably maybe on a 228 pace. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Of course, this track isn't going to be what decides the whole thing, that's for sure. But it's still a very important part and good tell of how practiced these players are, and you can see here Goof having an entire boost section there ahead of Metallica.
Yeah, you could see he's pulled like maybe a second lead by a second at the moment.
Yeah, I would say it's probably about right. Maybe a little bit more. It's hard to tell exactly. They had pretty much identical menuing times, so at least that's not a factor. Both exit without too much trouble here, ending on the final straight. Looks like it probably will be a 227 for Goof. Low 227 and a high 228 for Metallica. Both very good times, but Goofbrush pulling over a second ahead in just the first track.
Yeah. Here's Mon Gazza Speedway. This track can be deceptively hard because you're certain to lap the AI.
Yeah, it's very risky to boost when you necessarily want to. Ooh, an unfortunate bonk for Goof there. A little bit of time to be made up for Metallica.
Goof's still in the lead.
Goof taking a wider line around the pillar. I'm not sure why he's doing that, but he almost bonked on that AI. That was very close. Goof grows his lead a little bit more here. He's just generally playing riskier than Metallica, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And a low 102 and a mid-high 102.
102.
Both 102 is exactly where you want to be aiming for Mon Gazza. It is technically possible to get a very high 101, but doing that consistently is not really feasible, especially in a tournament setting. Alright, so on to Beedo's Wild Ride. Easily the hardest track to do with EB in the circuit. Also has the most time potential to save and lose.
I'm not so sure. I mean, all the tracks afterward where you're using Beedo can be significant gains or losses due to his higher raw top speed and poor acceleration.
Well, I just more meant that with EB, this is the most risky one.
Yeah.
So, like, almost all the Aldar tracks are going to be less consistent. But especially Vengeance and Spice Mine are going to be less consistent than this. I'm not sure what Metallica is capable of here, but I know Goof has gotten a sub 4, which is where you want to be sitting. In fact, he's gotten numerous sub 4s. Both doing the slot boost. Okay. Heat into the tent for Goof is okay, not ideal. Metallica... pretty similar boat. Uses a little bit too much heat though in the tube. Sorry, not in the tube, in the ice.
Ooh! Goofbrush almost crashed because he launched almost into the rock pillar.
Yeah, that was a close one. Some risky strats coming out here for Goof, but both of them using a very decent amount of the fast terrain on the ice field, which is what you're going to want to do in the tent section. Two different strats for navigating that arc on the ice here. We have Metallica, who's doing my strat of trying to fly over it, and Goof is just kind of going to the right of it.
And Metallica is tilting to avoid the texture kill death, and Goof tempting fake by not doing it there.
Yeah, and he has to do that one more time unless he realizes that it's a risky play. But overall, this has been very... Oh, no!
Whoa.
Ah, that's not what you want to see. The slot is very hard to do sometimes, so I can... Oh, and right immediately afterwards, Goof dying in a worse way right before the tent because he had turned to even keep going. Wow. Almost simultaneous deaths.
Tempted fate again.
I would say that them both dying probably helped Metallica a little bit more than Goof, purely because Goof had to turn. Seems like Metallica might be around 2.5 seconds behind at the current moment. Okay, final stretch of the track. Let's hope we see a clean ending here.
Row 6.
And Metallica does make up just a couple tenths there, I think.
Now we're getting into the harder part of the run with Beedo.
Yeah, and this track is deceptively hard to optimize with Beedo. It's very easy to lose numerous seconds from just doing slightly wrong strats or boost patterns here, especially with Beedo's cooling time being so long.
Not to mention being very easy to bonk in the figure 8 if you enter at the wrong angle.
Oh yeah, that's a very big risk.
Both players should be on 60 FPS for this because at 24 FPS, it's very hard, if not impossible, to avoid Beedo bonking in the figure 8.
Yeah, it's certainly possible, but very inconsistent on 24 FPS. And I know for a fact that Goofbrush is playing on 60. I'm not sure if Metallica is playing on 60 or a little bit lower.
Yeah. But the track where that's really going to matter is going to be in 2 tracks from now in Vengeance.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they are both going to be on high enough FPS to at least navigate the tubes successfully. That's for sure. Looks like Goof had a slightly better lap 1 here. A little bit lower heat, and I think slightly faster time as well. Goof is essentially that entire tube section ahead of Metallica at this point. Not too big of a distance.
Seeing a boost pattern divergence.
Yeah, I don't really know why Goof decided to do that management boost. It seemed really unnecessary. Not good for his overall time. It won't hurt him that bad, but it certainly doesn't help. Goof doing another management boost. I don't really understand what he's doing with those, but maybe I missed something. Seemed to gain more time over Metallica, largely from lines, though. Final doorway section for Goof here. Gets a good pattern to make it through easily. Metallica, not a good pattern again. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's a clear pattern to it in ILs, but in a tournament sitting, the pattern is random outside of the first lap.
Yeah. You never know if the AI are going to go over the trigger at the same time, which messes with when the doors will be opening and closing. Alright, Goof gonna probably gain some more time here, maybe a second more. He's gonna exit at 140.4, and Metallica's going to exit at 144.9. So yeah, about 4.5 second lead for Goof now.
There we go, Malastare 100. Probably the hardest trick to do at the frame rates needed here.
It's easy on 95% of the track, and then that one singular turn can be very sketchy, to say the least, because you have to really time your slide well, otherwise you'll go too close to the inside and possibly die or lose all your speed. Both would be extremely detrimental to any run. Goof coming up to said hairpin now for the first time. Let's see how he handles it. Choosing to go a little bit wide and bonk slightly rather than losing all of his speed or dying. Probably a good decision. Metallica handling it a little bit better, saving about 3 ASU, or 3 speed units, on Goof there. It should be noted, though, that Goof is taking far riskier lines on the whole. So even though he might have a lower speed, he probably is still gaining more time than Metallica on the whole. Second hairpin for Goof. A little bit cleaner than last time. And Metallica also coming up on the second hairpin. Still very clean from Metallica.
Yeah.
Just a little side note, the section that Goof is coming to here, both the left and right side are fast train, but the left side is also a better line in general, so there's really no reason to not take the left side of the split. And Goof surviving, although not the best surviving, of the third hairpin. Gonna get a mid 228, very solid time. And Metallica gonna have a 229, it looks like.
Yep. Now we're on to Vengeance. This
Yep.
track is really hard to avoid taking a dip on. And
For
this
sure.
will probably be the determinant this will probably determine it, because this track is so easy to die at. You can practically die every part of this track.
This and some parts of Spice Mine could still kill the players for sure. Going into this, Goof had around a 5-second lead though. So he could almost afford a death if he plays clean enough, but not quite. A death here, depending on where you die, can lose you as much as like 8 or 9 seconds. Alright, let's see. Goof doing decent heat management on the fast train of the track in multiple sections. Metallica, not quite as good, but still good enough. And just to explain things a little bit more for anybody who isn't as familiar with this track, the entirety of the zero gravity tubes and a small section with the fans, or gears, or whatever they are, it's all fast train, so you want to be cooling off on it as much as you can so that your speed is as high as possible.
Yeah, I like to call that thing the cog shaft.
A 126.8, very nice first lap time for Goof. Not doing the best boost strategies out of the lap, but on the whole it's a very nice time. And Metallica with a low 127, also a very strong lap 1 time. Ooh, that was close for Goof. So as you can see, Goof's speed was increasing on the cog shaft section, if that's what you want to call it, and so that's fast train, and you want to also cool down on that. You're also going to want to cool down at the beginning of the tube here, because this fast train is stronger than the section in between it and the laser, ironically. Oh man, I thought Goof was going to hit the laser for a second.
Yeah.
That was awfully close. Both have been navigating the tubes very well, though. At least so far. Obviously, there's still a whole nother lap here.
Oh man, Metallica scared me with spinning in that.
124.7 second lap. Not the fastest, but still a good time. And Metallica gains back a couple tenths on the second lap there. Very nice. However, I don't think Metallica can gain back enough time without Goof dying at this point.
No, I agree.
And
Seems like
admittedly, it's still possible on Spice Mine 2, but it's getting awfully close here.
Oof! That wall he scraped usually catches and kills you.
Yeah, that was very close to being extremely lethal for Goof there. Lucks out a little bit. Still really dragging himself close to the... Yeah, that reactor core beam keeps just barely missing him. Goof on the exit. Clean enough.
Okay. Okay, Goof has now got out of the hardest parts of the track.
He's going to end with not quite max heat, but he's going to be very close. With a 414.9. Not bad. Metallica also coming up in the end. Getting a 414.9, I think, as well. Yep.
Yeah.
They basically tied on Vengeance. Very nice. And now we're on to Spice Mine, where realistically, these two runners are only ever going to lose as much as like 3 seconds unless they take a bad bonker dive.
Yeah.
So Metallica really does need Goof to do some big mistake here.
It's crazy how close it was and how it almost was like it came down to that Boonta training where Goof was significantly faster than Metallica there.
Yeah, most of the time save that Goof has been having has been from two things, which is generally slightly better times in terms of the in-game time, and I think he had better menuing to switch to Aldar as well. Goof, a little bit off on the line on that downhill section. It's very hard to get completely right, but pretty close. Metallica also doing a pretty good job here, so that's good to see.
Yeah, the minecart is what makes that line so dicey on that lap.
Yeah, in lap 2 you have to dodge to the right if you're on a good pace, otherwise you will die on. Goof taking some pretty risky lines here on the tubes, which is what you need in order to get it to good time. His boost pattern here isn't the best, so we'll see how Metallica handles that. I think Metallica is doing slightly better boost strats on the whole, but Goof is taking riskier lines. And unfortunately, the lines are generally more important than the boost strats. Goof coming up to the fast train on Spice Mine now. A little bit before 2:20 on the timer. They should be relatively the same heat, so you can kind of get an idea of who's ahead here. And it looks like Goof is about half a second ahead. Goof dodging the minecart, very nice. Metallica also dodges it.
I think on the final lap, the minecart is right at the front after the speed conveyor belt.
It's pretty much around there, yeah. I don't remember the exact position, but at least it's not in the way of the good one. Alright, Goof coming up on the second set of ending hairpins, which are very easy to die on if you clip a corner.
Yeah. We actually called them the Mike Death because Mikey Burger in Torrent was, besides deciding the match on the Dozer, which only happens at MU with Max Upgrade Ben, but also it's really easy to die on the corners of that final chicane section in the city before 2.
Yeah, both are really deadly corners for sure. I lost a PB pace run to the ending of lap 3 of Spice Mine because of those corners. It was very unfortunate. Goof gonna get to the fast train around 401.8. We'll see when Metallica gets there. Metallica is a little bit too far behind to really do anything at this point. Has lost half a second per lap already. So unless Goof makes a severe mistake, Goof has got this one.
Yeah.
But both have been doing very clean racing outside of that one death. Goof has 1 section left.
Ian brought up a good point of saying that Goof crashed on the fast terrain of the ice shortcut rather than the slot boost, which probably helped him recoup better than Metallica.
I honestly believe that Goof lost more time there because he died outside the tent and had to turn. So he
now, 507.
A 507.9, a little slow, but it's going to be good enough to close out the match. And both are going to get sub-24s, which is exactly what you would want to see. A very tight match. And if even just one death had happened on Goof's end, Metallica could have easily taken that.
Yeah, this was close all the way to the end.
For sure. Which is nice to see.
Yeah, we're off by about 6 seconds which is extremely close for an RTA run.
For sure.
508's really solid with Beedo too.
The fastest pod racer in the galaxy.
Yeah, the best that you can get on Spice Mine is really only about 2.5 seconds better than what either of them got. So, really, it was nice times.
Wow, that was close all the way to the end.
For sure, and Goof coming out just barely ahead, really. So, congrats to both of them on a great run. And we now have Goof joining us for interviews. Congratulations, Goof, on taking a dub.
Oh, I won.
That you did. You won by 6 seconds. You both died in a span of like 5 seconds on Beeto's Wild Ride. It was pretty funny.
Oh, God. I thought I'd lost instantly when I died there.
Yeah, I mean, you both played really clean outside of that singular time of death, and we also now have Metallica joining us in here. Congratulations on getting a good time. Unfortunately, you lost by 6 seconds, but you both had the one death on Beeto's, which was pretty funny.
Oh, so he was much faster than me then, because the Beedo death cost me like 7 seconds, so that's all my time lost.
Yeah, Goof
about that
died
as well.
right outside the tent, and you died on the slot, Metallica. So a little bit different, but you both lost relatively similar amounts of time there. But it was very nice to see both of you get sub 24 on your tournament run here. I'm very happy about that.
Outside of my death, I like matched all of my golds. Like I matched my Aquilaris gold, M100 and Vengeance, and then I golded SMR by a second.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only got a gold on Vengeance, and I had red on almost everything else. I did not perform very well, sadly.
Well, I mean, you might have been able to get a PB had you not died on Beedos. It would have been pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It's like I've never died there, or at least not in any recent times. I've never died to that rock, so it really caught me by surprise.
Yeah, that rock can be a little bit risky, or I should say surprising in some senses, because it kind of sticks out in an awkward way where it can catch you off guard. I've certainly died there myself numerous times.
Yeah, it's like I wanted to. Usually, I turn to the left too much, and I end up bouncing to the opposite side and taking a wider line. So I was trying to stay to the right side instead, but I ended up hitting the rock.
Yeah, an unfortunate mistake, but sometimes those things happen, especially when it's just you get one chance in tournament. But
yeah, I was really nervous, so.
Yeah, I was feeling the nerves a lot in Boonta training and Mon Gazza. And then I died on Beedos, and I was like, okay. And I focused up, but
sometimes dying can really help focus, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just kind of get it out of your system. So how you feeling, Goof, now that you've won both of your first 2 ever tournament matches? Even though this isn't the main tournament, you still are technically in a tournament, so it's an impressive showing to win your first 2, especially against somebody as strong as Metallica for the second one.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel relieved, but I'm not looking forward to my future ahead.
Well, you're certainly a very strong competitor in both ILs and in this, so you'll probably do better than you're thinking you will.
What, you need to die once or twice for me to win? If we play.
Well, If you don't die, if I die one time, then you can just barely beat me right now.
Yep.
Because I can get like a 23, 42, or 43 if I die once, depending on the death. But before any of that, I still have my match against Digital, so there's always the chance that things could go south there. You never know.
Yeah, I heard you were planning something a bit weird for that match.
We might have some fun plans in works. You'll just have to wait and see on, I believe that'll be Monday at 3 p.m.
Yep.
Yep.
But congratulations to both of you again. Very nice races.
Thanks.
Yam, I should actually say, Goof's PB and my PB are currently about, what, 6.5 seconds apart, I think?
Yeah.
Something like that. Essentially one death difference, depending on the death. But yeah. Anything else you guys would like to say, or any comments you'd like to make on your runs?
Just GG's to Metallica. This was a very close game. I really wasn't sure if I would win or not. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, it was very close. I knew it was gonna be close, so that only made me more nervous throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, if that's all, then GG's to both of you. Thank you guys for a great match. Thank you to Game Draco for joining me today on commentary, Lightning for hosting the stream, and to everybody who watched it. I appreciate you guys showing up. This has been a really fun tournament to have so far, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next match on Monday.
Yep. See ya.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. Good luck, everyone. May the force be with you.